Let's talk about structuring the poll. The first thing I want to talk about is what's known as seating the poll, which is a term used to mean inviting women back to your home or some other place where the two of you can be alone and where sex can happen. It could also be your hotel, it could be her hotel, it could be her home, it could be an Airbnb. It really doesn't matter. It just needs to be a place where sex can actually happen. Meaning, I don't want you inviting her to come with you somewhere and then setting the expectation that she's going to come get food with you at a diner. And I also don't want you setting the expectation that she's going to come with you to an after party somewhere at a place that you heard about, right? It should never come off as if it's a group activity or as if it's not at your home, okay? So I really need you to understand that, especially if it's not true, because that's what we call lying. It's misleading, it's manipulative, and it's going to creep the women out, and it's going to make them feel very unsafe. It's going to essentially raise every single red flag possible, as if you're lying to her, you're not telling her the full truth, you're hiding information from her, or leading her to places that are different than where you set the expectation for. It's going to make her think, okay, this guy's trying to kill me, this guy's trying to rob me, he's trying to do something weird. Because why else would he take me somewhere different than where he told me? And why would he not give me all the information? So never do that. Tons of guys think you can't use words like my apartment or my home because they think it's going to set off red flags, when actually it's the opposite, okay? It's going to set off red flags not giving the information. And also, it's important to realize that the women that are down to hook up and that really like you are going to love when you invite them to your home. Okay, you really want to say, we're going to my apartment. And if you don't say that, or you speak around it in circles, it's going to make it sound like it's a big deal, or as if you're inviting them to do something that maybe they're not supposed to be doing, and it's going to make them question and rethink hanging out with you. So never ever hide the fact that you're taking them to your home. On top of that, hiding the fact that you're taking them to your home and kind of like creating this whole thing behind their back is really assuming that women don't want to have sex on their own and that you have to trick them into doing it. I really want you to understand, you're not trying to freaking catch a leprechaun here, or like pick up, steal a freaking unicorn or anything like that. This is not a figment or a fairy tale. This is creating a situation where a girl can do something she already wants to do with a guy she already likes, which is having her hair pulled and ass smacked as you bang the hell out of her, because that's what she really wants, is great sex. And that's all we're trying to do, is create that type of situation. So you want to be transparent and you want to be upfront about where you're taking her. And if she ever asks you, where are we going, or how far is it, you got to answer. You got to tell her the truth. Yeah, it's 15 minutes away. We're going to my home. I'm taking you to my apartment. We're going to do shots, okay? Remember, she only just met you, so if you give her any sort of idea or any sort of reason to think she can't trust you, it's pretty much over, or at least it's a very, very difficult uphill battle that you're going to have to fight, and you don't want to create the situation like that. You really want to make your life easy, and that is just telling her the truth without ever making it sound like a big deal. On top of that, so many women, believe it or not, would prefer going to your home instead of making any more stops on the way home, like at a diner, because, dude, it's late, it's 3 in the morning. Why the hell would you want to go to a diner? And especially when you follow my invitation, right, the way I explained to you how to do it, believe me, chicks are going to be very excited to get to your home, okay? So realize that. So again, remove all mystery, all enigma, all of that should be gone. So many guys think that by leaving out information, you're creating mystery. No, you're creating defenses, okay? When you give information, then mystery is created, because she's like, wow, this guy's so chill, so easy to talk to, everything's so easy. Who the hell is this guy? Why is he so chill? Okay, so you're going to give her everything she asks, and you're going to really create a very nice situation where the girl really realizes, okay, I can trust this guy. He actually is just trying to do something completely cool and completely normal that's going to be a ton of fun and very exciting. Okay? So you typically want to spend maybe a few minutes connecting with the girl, just building a nice vibe, and then you're going to seed the poll, okay? So that's it. It's very simple. And then you're going to start leading her home if she's ready to go. Now realize, sometimes you could even get away with doing it right off the open, and sometimes you could even do it when the girl isn't responding that well, and you'll see the whole thing turn around, okay? She'll see, wow, this guy's really going for it. So invite her home within the first few minutes. If she's ready to go, you pull her. If she's not, then what you'll do is you'll just try to make her feel comfortable. What's going to happen is she might explain to you some reasons why she doesn't think she could come. She might ask some questions. How far is it? Where are we going? Can I bring my friends? Whatever. You're going to answer them, and I'll explain to you how to answer them, and then you'll be good to go. Now, if she doesn't come when you first invite her, and she doesn't come after you already answer all of her questions, the truth is, it's one of two things almost always, at least if she likes you. The first one is you didn't completely answer her questions, her concerns, you didn't completely answer them, or she just needs to become comfortable with you. So it's very much like the makeout. So if you go for the makeout, and then she's not ready, what's that mean? She gave you the cheek, does that mean she doesn't like you? No, what it means is that she actually just wants you to give her some time, right? You just need to give her some time to adjust to the fact that you're trying to make out with her, that you're into her, and it's like, whoa, that's hot. Did that really just happen? Like, she's trying to process what happened, and you're just going to make her feel very comfortable with it, and you're going to go for it 10 minutes later, 5 minutes later, and then you're going to get it or you won't get it. If you don't get it, you're just going to try again. Doesn't matter. Either way, what's important to know is even if she didn't go for it right away, the frame is set that you want her coming home with you, and now all you have to do is spend time making her feel very comfortable with it. Now, almost all women, with very few exceptions, are going to come home with you within 20 to 30 minutes maximum if they like you and if you followed my method, okay? If they don't comply, it means you either didn't handle their obstacles, as I just mentioned, or she likes you, but not enough to do anything about it. And although that is a rare one, it does happen sometimes. The girl, she'll like you, and no matter what, she's just like, nope. Who the hell knows why? Either way, it's going to be a judgment call that you're going to have to make about whether or not you want to keep investing your time into her. Personally, unless there was something very unique about the girl, I'd probably move on to a girl who kind of gets my awesomeness a little bit quicker than she does. And I suggest you buy into the same mentality where you realize you're so awesome. And if she doesn't get it after like 30 minutes, I mean, come on, how much time do you need to know that what an awesome guy is like, okay? Also realize that the longer you wait to pull, the less likely it is that it's going to happen, okay? So she might get too drunk, her friends might get too drunk, she or her friends might get too tired, some drunk guys could come up and like harass her or her friends. They could harass the friends while you're talking to her, and all of a sudden they drag her out and they want to leave. You might get too tired, right? How often does it happen where you're just kind of getting fatigued, or you run out of things to say, or you say something stupid? We've all been there where we said something stupid and it blew out, okay? Or let's say she sees somebody, let's say she's in a college town, right? And she sees somebody from one of her old classes, and now she's in a conversation with them and you're knocked to the side. Look, that was just maybe 7 or 8, I think like 6 even, excuses or problems rather, that could come up that could really knock you off course. And if you think about that, if that's only 8, what else is out there? And the truth is, the possibilities are endless. I call these landmines because landmines, if you think about it, they're problems that are oftentimes hidden, and if you don't handle them delicately and proceed with caution and even see them coming from ahead of time, they can really they can make your life way more difficult than it really needs to be. And that's really what you want to be aware of, is you need to be aware of these landmines. And I have a video where I'm going to talk about a lot of them that you want to look out for. Now, that's why I always recommend seating the pull early on in the interaction and trying to pull her as quickly as possible without ever making the interaction feel rushed or forced. I don't want you to ever be in the point where you're like forcing the pull, which I'll talk about later on. But yeah, and then I would say that you also want to pull early on in the night altogether, because for one, you get to avoid fewer obstacles by following that whole process I just laid out, but also you're going to have way more options to pull from, which is very contrary to what a lot of people think. On top of that, because seating the pull leads to the girl voicing any obstacles, that's really what happens. You're going to say, hey, you should come with me. And she's going to say, oh, I can't, if she can't, right? I can't, I'm with my friends, or I can't because I don't want to go too far. Whatever it is, you're going to handle them. But sometimes she'll give you real reasons that either take time to work through and now you'll have plenty of time to handle them, or she'll give you reasons that really there's almost no way you're going to overcome, like her flight's in an hour or something. And now you know, okay, I'm not going to waste any more time with this girl no matter how hot she is, because it's just not going to go anywhere. That sucks. It is what it is, right? Now, unless you're very new to pickup advice, or you're already familiar with my content and have been for a while, you're probably thinking, whoa, Chris, I really thought women needed a lot of attraction or comfort before they would come home with a guy, and that they won't leave with a guy almost ever until toward the end of the night when the clubs begin to wind down. You might also be thinking, well, I thought women wanted sex at the very end of the night, after spending a lot of time with you, kind of like a movie where all the best parts happen at the end. Isn't that true? And the answer is no, none of that's true at all. I don't know about you, but seriously, I've never met a girl in my entire life, okay, I'm 26 years old right now, in my entire life, where a girl needed every Friday and Saturday night to be like a Hollywood movie, okay? It never happened, and I'm assuming it's never gonna happen because no one really thinks that way. Also, it's really never gonna do you any good to think on any level that the last thing women have on their mind is sex. It's just not gonna help you. You need to think they're all horny because it's the truth. They all really want to hook up. They just need somebody to make them feel comfortable doing it if they can't make themselves comfortable on their own. So I'm telling you right now, none of that stuff is true. When you meet a girl early in the night, oftentimes if you ask her what are your plans for tonight, she has no idea. She's like, I don't know, we're seeing where the night goes. And when you suggest very cool plans, it's very likely that she's going to come with you. So when I go out, I'm out by 10, let's say, I'm home by 11 o'clock with either a hottie or a group of hotties. Like, that's how it is, and there's no reason you can't do the same. Now, on top of that, I've said so many times that all women are down to hook up, and that means they require way less attraction and comfort than almost everyone thinks. They mostly just need enough trust and comfort with you just to know that you're a normal guy and that you're bringing them to somewhere cool and where it is where you're telling them you're bringing them, and that they could easily leave to there and leave from there when it's all over. And that's basically it. So look, as I mentioned in the earlier sections, the only exception for this that I found is women that are emotionally unavailable. So let's say they have boyfriends or whatever, or that it costs them a lot of money or time to get into the venue, or that it would take them a lot of money or time to get back into the venue. But other than that, those are the only issues that I found, and I'll even teach you how to handle those in the upcoming video.